بالروح بالدم نفديك يا بشار بالروح بالدم نفديك يا بشار بشار وبس الله سوريا بشار وبس الله سوريا بشار وبس.
This clip was shot last week in Syria by Janine Di Giovanni, a journalist who was given a rare visa to travel to Syria and had the opportunity to meet and talk with government officials and the Syrian army. Janine, what's the mood among Syrian officials and the Syrian military men and women today?
I think that no one wants war. I think that everyone in Syria, whether they're on the opposition side or the government side, are frightened. They're frightened of what's going to come next. They're frightened of their lives changing. I think for ordinary people, the fear is the same as it would be for you and I. How to get your children to school? How will you buy food this coming winter?
How do the residents of Damascus, the stronghold for President Bashar al-Assad, and had been in kind of a bubble for a long time, how are they finding out what's going on? Do they even know what's going on in the rest of the country?
Of course, a lot of contact on the internet, cell phones, but it is state television. Although people do watch the BBC, they do Skype. There's a lot of Syrians have multiple nationalities. So they have a lot of contact with their family outside of the country. But still, I think people are very confused. As in the beginning of many civil wars, there's a lot of misinformation, there's a lot of propaganda. People don't know what to believe. And the feeling I get from everyone, I mean, the overall general feeling is fear. No one wants their world to change and come collapsing around them. And suddenly Damascus has become a city that's almost unrecognizable. It's to get from one end to the other, to drive there, is not the same route you would have taken all of your life, even if you grew up there.
And you've been there before, which makes your experience so valuable because you have a basis for comparison. How has Damascus, this ancient city, how has it changed?
Between June and September, it's radically changed. There's much more checkpoints set up. Syrians are very social people. They have extended family networks. They like to party. They like to go out. They like to sit in restaurants and smoke nargila. People are afraid to go out now.
Did you get a feeling that people in Damascus have begun to feel a sense of inevitability that the regime will fall? Or do they still hold out hope of perhaps crushing the uprising and things kind of miraculously returning to how they once were?
People are very frightened. I think they're very frightened of that it is no longer an evolving war, that it is a civil war, that winter is coming, that there's homeless people, there's food shortages, it's very expensive, and they're worried that Damascus will become the next Aleppo.